It is Dr. Rat again. I am sorry for my absence for these couple months. I've been found, and I had to lay low for a bit. By who, you may ask? Don't you worry about that, okay? That's for me to worry about. Now, I have found, I've been given this document to read on SCP 1265. Now, give, give me a minute. There. Alright. So, the object class is Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. Site 1265, which contains SCP-1265, is to be publicly maintained as a wildlife preserve by the Safe and Clean Planet Initiative. Foundation Front Company. Scientific discoveries made by the Foundation regarding wildlife within SCP-1265 may be published following corresponding evidence being found in the fossil record. Civilians wishing to travel through SCP-1265 are to be treated with Class D amnestics. Wow, I still said it wrong. I don't care, let's just move on. In order to be unable to remember instances of SCP-1265-A that they come into contact with. All untreated civilians found to have come into contact with SCP-1265-A instances are to be treated with Class A amnestics, implanted with false memories, and released. Every 6 months, eggs laid by instances of SCP-1265-A are to be harvested for incubation and study before being released into the wild at maturity. Full procedures for care of young specimens of SCP-1265-A, including imprinting procedures. See Document 1265-I. Description: SCP-1265 is an irregularly shaped area of land measuring 50 kilometers squared within the Congo Basin, Africa. SCP-1265 is mostly contained within the Democratic Republic of the Congo, but approximately 15 kilometers squared is contained within the neighboring Republic of the Congo. The majority of SCP-1265 is uninhabited, save for some tribal villages, and contains floral tropical of the Congo Basin. SCP-1265 is inhabited by several species known to be extinct, mostly from the clade Dinosauria. By the way, have you guys seen Alter Ego lately? I kind of like it. I cannot explain why it resounds with me so much. Anyway, these animals, collectively designated SCP-1265-A, appear spontaneously in groups of 5 approximately once every 30 days, and are not necessarily found on the fossil record within Africa. Instead, they appear to be selected based on the climate they lived in during the Mesozoic era. Instances of SCP-1265-A are incapable of leaving SCP-1265, as they dematerialize upon crossing the border of SCP-1265, and reappear in an area within 3 kilometers of the border, sedated. Wait, so they just up and disappear? That's really unusual. SCP-1265-A are also not chosen based on one particular period of the Mesozoic. Mesozoic. Yes, that's how you say it. But the Cretaceous and Jurassic are the most represented with a sparse population of Triassic period dinosaurs. In addition, several non-dinosaur reptilians, such as pterosaurs, are known to exist within SCP-1265, but are not commonly seen. SCP-1265-A instances even carnivores, so no aggression or fear towards humans unless provoked. To date, the 3 Foundation personnel killed in SCP-1265 had died as a result of accidentally provoking a 1265-A instance, as opposed to being actively hunted by a carnivorous species of SCP-1265-A. Notably, there are a few large carnivores or herbivore dinosaurs present as SCP-1265-A instances, and a lack of dinosaur species whose fossils have been found in North America. For example, species such as Tyrannosaurus rex and Brachiosaurus have never been cited in SCP-1265. But species such as Spinosaurus and Kentrosaurus are relatively common. Proportionally speaking, there is a 5-to-1 ratio of non-American dinosaurs to American species. Well, the land was Pangea for a while, so I guess that might explain it. Finally, there are several instances of SCP-1265-A that have not yet been discovered in the fossil record, collectively known as SCP-1265 Alpha, lowercase a, A2, SCP-1265 Alpha instances are known for being usually aggressive, and will often charge at or attempt to attack researchers and other animals within SCP-1265 indiscriminately. As of yet, Foundation researchers have been unable to determine the origin of most instances of SCP-1265 Alpha. Some have been found in the fossil record and as such have been reclassified as instances of SCP-1265-A. Notably, SCP-1265 Alpha instances reclassified as SCP-1265-A usually lose all aggressive tendencies. So are they mad that they're not discovered? Do they know? SCP-1265 is believed to have existed for at least 200 years, according to historical records. Several instances of SCP-1265-A have been integrated into the folklore of several tribes in the area near SCP-1265. For further details, see Interview 1265-1. Guess what's up next? Interview 1265-1, an interview conducted by Dr. Wells in a Meboshi village 5.5 kilometers away from the perimeter of SCP-1265 regarding SCP-1265-A sightings. All dialogue is translated from the Lingala language. Dr. Wells, what can you tell me about the monsters? Redacted. There are several of them in the jungle, almost all of them in the water. They do not eat people, though. Not most of them, except for Naguma Monane. Naguma Monane is like a big snake with legs, walks on all fours like a dog, and has a big ridge on its back that will eat you if it catches you. Dr. Wells, tell me about Makale. Redacted. Makale Bay, wow, that's a tough word to read, is the largest of them all. It is big enough to block rivers and makes the lakes rise. It can breathe underwater, but is not a fish, and the earth shakes when it walks. There's also Melu, the beast with planks on its back. Dr. Wells produces illustrations of Camarasaurus and Kentrosaurus from his pack. Are these Mokele and Mabilu? Yes and no. No? These do not have feathers. Everything else is right, but Mabilu has feathers, so does Mokele. They're almost like birds in that way, but they do not fly. The ones that do fly have no feathers. Dr. Wells. What else can you tell me about the area? Redacted. It is hexed. The Mokellas and the McBellas and others cannot leave it without vanishing, nor can their eggs or meat. Years ago, hunters tried to bring back the carcass of a Mokele. It took the whole village, and when they reached the edge of the area, it simply vanished. Dr. Wells. How many people have gone into the area over the past several years? Redacted. Many. There are hunters, but they do not want to kill. They want to find Mokele and nothing else. They never succeeded for whatever reason. It is because they do not look in that one area for Mokele. We tell them that it is dangerous, and it is. All people know what area is dangerous and do not go near it. Dr. Wallace. That will be all. Thank you for your cooperation. End log. Note. Administration of amnestics was deemed unnecessary due to the familiarity of the majority of the village had with SCP-1265. Collected notes regarding SCP-1265-A. Notes taken during a monthly expedition through SCP-1265 by Dr. Nail. I still find it fascinating that almost all instances of SCP-1265-A, well, the dinosaurs at least, are feathered, not scaled. All I have to say is this. Chen, eat your heart out. This blows Yixian out of the water. Wang's come across a few carcasses, and he's joked a few times about wanting to see what they taste like. I don't trust dinosaur meat, especially given what was found at that farm in China. There are some trilobites in the water, however, and the natives sometimes come here to fish for them. They taste like prawns. It's probably because they're prawn dinosaurs. As noted in the main description, the majority of them are from the clade Dinosaura, and are all suited to fit the climate of the Congo. Several of them are quasi-amphibious, such as the Kentrosaurus, which prefers to spend time in the water. Observation has shown that it can hold its breath for up to an hour at a time. As such, Kentrosaurus native to this area have large amounts of algae growing on their plates and spikes, occasionally giving the illusion that they are a living bush of some sort. Kentrosauruses are usually quite docile, but we've seen that their thagomizers could take down small trees. Despite the theory created by Mr. Russell in the 1980s, there's absolutely no evidence that Troodon would ever have evolved into the so-called dinosauroid. But they are rather intelligent. They have been seen using rudimentary tools in a manner similar to chimpanzees, in order to pick fruit from the trees, and throw rocks at prey in order to injure them. We found a family of Baryonyx today. As it turns out, they're semi-aquatic and use their tails to shoot through the water after fish, and chomp them up like a crocodile or gorillas. They appear to be associated with the clan of Spinosaurus. Dr. Moore was very disappointed about seeing a live Spinosaurus, and I honestly can't blame him. They're mostly quadrupedal and have feather covering more like ducks than anything else. Their skeletal structure is completely unsuited for walking upright, and the less said about the so-called spine, the better. Scientifically fascinating, but as a lifelong dinosaur enthusiast, I must grieve for such a titan. I'm a huge fan of dinosaurs myself, and I kind of would like to see this island, regardless of how different it is, according to, like, children's books and what you know. We made an incredible discovery. A far-winged flying dinosaur with wings on both its arms and its legs. It's like a crowbat. Wing speculates that it's a completely new species of Microraptor, native to Asia. It's colored like a raven. Its plumage is an iridescent black. Since it's not been found in the record, it's a alpha instance, and those things are tetchy. Wang nearly got his finger bitten off sedating it. If it's ever found in the forest record, we'll name it properly. But for now, it's just Microraptor Foundation I guess. We finally found something that isn't feathered. It's a species of crocodile. Postosius. Oh, by the way, my one of my new favorite Magic Gathering sets is the dinosaur one, because that is really cool. I love it. Anyway, late Jurassic. It was drinking at the edge of a lake when suddenly a pack of coelophysis jumped down and attacked it. Several of them went for its throat, cutting the jugular. Soon as it bled out, they began stripping the corpse to the bone. It was astounding! Almost like piranha tearing apart a cow in the Amazon. We managed to collect the skeleton, and Wang noticed that the thing had 3 shattered ankles, as if they had fallen and landed on their feet. Probably why the coelophysis were able to take it down so easily. We saw a magnificent fight between the Therizinosaurus and a Carnotaurus. The Therizinosaurus practically decapitated the poor carnivore, which was about the same size. The Therizinosaurus then did something rather odd. It cut open the Carnotaur's corpse and dipped its claws in the blood, before scoring the trees around it with dinosaur blood. I believe that this was done for the purpose of marking territory. It's actually rather fascinating, if somewhat gruesome. The Therizinosaur then ate a bit of the flesh from the Carnotaur and left the area. So yeah, it was probably warning that that is his area, and he will kill anything that comes into it. Dr. Moore has apparently never seen a Dilophosaurus outside of a certain movie. He was absolutely shocked when he saw one, and it wasn't a 2-meter-long creature that acted like a dog, but rather a 6-meter-long creature that looked like it could bite off his head. It ran away, but we managed to get some good pictures. Also found some footprints from an unknown sauropod. I honestly have no idea what on earth we saw today. We found a new instance of SCP-1265 Alpha. It appeared to be ceratopsid with a single horn and four short, stumpy legs, but it had a long tail dragging along the ground, uncharacteristic of ceratopsids, and didn't have a frill of any sort. Instead, it almost seemed to have floppy ears near the top of its head. It was also quite aggressive and was engaged in combat with a Pachyrhinosaurus for unknown reasons, and ended up goring the poor thing. We decided to head back to the site after that. So this was SCP-1265. It's like a real-life Jurassic Park, and I kind of like it. I tried to go visit it one time. I forgot what happened. Yeah. So, I'm sorry for the long wait again. I do want to keep reading more SCPs, but I gotta do it in secret. Shh! Don't tell anybody. Go ahead and share this video with your friends and family. We would like to get more coverage. The world must know. Also, go ahead and subscribe. We need 1,000 viewers to start getting paid for doing this kind of thing. And I would like to have money. Yes, money. They won't let me have money. Why can't I get paid? I'm a doctor after all. See my look at my name tag right here. It says Dr. Rat. So that means I'm a scientist. And I need to get paid for doing this. And of course, until next time. Bye.